Victor Monroy, Nathan Davis. This is Chatter Up. Welcome to episode 5 of this Chatter Up. Again, my name is Victor Monroy. Right by my side is Nathan Davis, and we are in my favorite team's ballpark, which is Yankee Stadium. You can see right here, Yankee Stadium. I'm wearing the Yankee hat. I'm wearing the Yankees because, you know, you got to rep. We got to rep. How you doing, Nene?
Doing good. Repping my Atlanta Braves because we are the world champs. And, Victor, you'll like this shirt because you know what this is. This is our college. So,
mine doesn't fit.
Oh, crud. Actually, my old maroon one doesn't fit. So, I threw that out a long time ago. Only my black one fit. So, guys, we got huge news. The greatest news we were waiting to hear for all winter. Baseball is back.
Yeah.
Rob Manfred, players, they came to an agreement. Spring training started literally, 48 hours afterwards or something like that? Yeah. And games started the following, Thursday or something like that. They gave them 5 days to prepare to play spring training games. So it's awesome. I think it's awesome. Vic, what were some and dislikes of that CBA, man?
All right. What I liked about that CBA is that they were able to come to a decent agreement.
Yes.
Right? They came to a decent agreement. I think that they were able to put their egos aside. And once they started talking, things started to speed up and they were able to bring the baseball back for the fans.
Yeah.
I love how they assess the rule changes.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they have some that are going to be implemented this year and some that will be implemented the next year. So I really like that. What I didn't like is that it actually happened. It could have been avoidable. It could have been avoided. Yeah. But the reason it's saddening and I don't like it, it's because there will be fans that left baseball and won't come back. I know a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. I know a couple of people that says, you know what, I'm done with baseball. This whole lockout really isn't my thing anymore. So I'm just going to focus on soccer. Why soccer?
But I'm going to avoid that subject because you know how I feel about that. But as far as my likes and dislikes, my likes were I'm so glad the players are getting an increase in play. Player minimums are getting an increase. They agreed to some of our rule changes, which we've covered in episode 1 and in episode 4. So, guys, we're not going to get back into those. Also, some key things is baseball also decided the one I did like that was not really known is the fact that they're going to allow the all-star game to be decided by a home run derby if it's tied after the 9th inning. That's one of my favorites.
I want it to be tied.
Yeah, now everybody wants it to be tied. That was one of my likes. Another one of my likes is the fact that they're also going to go back and play more games in different countries and different venues. They're going to go back to London. They're going to expand to Germany, which I think the stadium that they'll be playing in Germany, which is home to FC Bayern Munich, the Allianz Arena, very big. I don't know how they convert that to baseball. I know they're going to go back to the same original site in London, I think. Don't know what they will do there. But that was one place, going back to Mexico, Puerto Rico, your country, my friend. And
I can't wait.
And they get to go to, I think, Japan and or Australia again, I think, as well. So those were a couple of things. My dislikes, however, was there wasn't that many dislikes, honestly. One of my dislikes was probably the fact that they are going to do I don't know. I can't remember. I deleted my photos that I have of some dislikes that I didn't like, but there's not much dislikes there's a lot of likes that overshadow the dislikes of this. And we can't wait for some of this to happen. As I said, the home run derby to decide the all-star game if it's tied after the 9th inning, which is awesome. So that'll be one thing. And then there are those games around the world, giving those players different experiences and the world different experiences to the game of baseball.
I think that one thing that they didn't talk about that they should have talked about in the CBA. I'm not sure if it's in the CBA that needs to be addressed, but I think there are certain cities that need a baseball team.
Yes,
And I think
expansion.
that if it's CBA, they should have at least talked about an expansion. And I think that Vegas needs a team. I think Tennessee needs a team. Because Memphis. It's mainly uh, te- football
You
and
mean Nashville?
basketball. Yeah, but
Nashville.
Nashville. I'm sorry. Yeah, Nashville. I'm sorry, Nashville is home to MLB teams and to NBA teams and NFL teams. And I really think that city really could use baseball team. I think that they would actually have a big outcome as to fans. And then, of course, the city of Toronto. I think the city of Toronto deserves. Oh, not Toronto. Montreal. Montreal deserves. Yeah, sorry. Montreal deserves a baseball team. And I think that when the Rays started talking about playing half of their games at home and then half of the games at Montreal, yeah, and it got scrapped. I think that really was a shame because, I mean, I understand not wanting to. I understand not wanting to share home fields because of the logistics and everything that goes into it, and especially on money wise for the city of Tampa or in the city of St. Petersburg. Really, that's where it is. But I think that they should have at least talked about the possibility of having another team. So, Nene, if they would have an expansion team, where would you like it to be?
Well, there's one that I'll mention that actually has a project going on, and that's Portland, Oregon. That would be kind of cool. Another team in the Pacific Northwest, but that plays into the A's, Giants, and Mariners like territory rights or whatever. Another one, I like the Nashville idea that gives I don't know if that involves my Atlanta Braves' area or whatnot, or let's say, for instance, Cincinnati Reds, Cardinals, Cubs, all that. But I think it would be best if they did go back to Montreal and bring the Expos back, because that was a storied franchise that actually won World Series and had a ton of Hall of Famers. And I think revitalizing and bringing back the Expos to Montreal would be one of the best stories in baseball. Vegas would be lit. We already see how it is with the Raiders in the NFL. And the Aces. Did you I don't know if you saw this, but this morning here on April 3rd, because this is April 3rd, guys, guess what's starting in about 4 days? Opening day for Major League Baseball. We'll get back to that in a moment. But I read this morning here on April 3rd, Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, that the A's, there's rumors going around the A's might be in the next 4 to 6 weeks showing the renderings and the site of where they could potentially actually move the Oakland Athletics to Las Vegas.
See, now that's something that I'm into it, because instead of expanding, it sucks because Oakland has such a good fan base. I think that the Oakland fans are underrated. It's just that their stadium is way too big. Their stadium
and way too old.
Too big and way too old. Yeah. So I think that they should at least consider. I would have liked them to stay in that area, but I understand that there are way too many teams in California. You got the Padres, Dodgers, Angels, and Giants, and NDAs. That's 5 teams just in California. I know California is huge, but still, it would be nice for them to be the only team and not being overshadowed by other possible teams. So that's
So besides that, with the CBA, is a lockout avoidable next time or no? I mean,
man, I don't know. I cannot say if it's avoidable. I always think it's avoidable. I just think it's more of egos more than a disagreement. It's just that, we want more money. We want to give you less money because we want more money for ourselves. It's all that scenario. That's basically why lockouts happen. I don't know if you guys knew that, guys, but when the basketball lockout began back in
2011, I think.
Yeah, something like that. 2011, 2012. We'll check it out and then we'll have the correct date right underneath. When it started, it was because of a money issue. Right, it was the contracts issue, and the same thing happened here this year. Like everything was, the contract was ending, and then players wanted more money. They wanted more fewer luxury tax. All about this money situation. Really, what caused this lockout. Yes, it can be avoidable, but it won't be avoided. That's the thing. It can be avoidable, but it won't be.
But I am going to say this. I am going to applaud what Rob Manfred has come out and said, that he's going to do a better job of trying to be more inclusive, talk more with the players, talk more with GMs, all that, and actually talk on a team by team basis with everybody, including the players.
I just hope he does.
I just hope he does too. I hope he follows through with it.
I hope he didn't do that to save face.
Yeah, that's what we hope. So with baseball and the CBA being agreed to and baseball being back, we got to get the continuation of free agency that never happened. So, Vic, I think this is crazy. We had some free agencies that were crazy, and guys went to certain teams. We have the big names that were still left that went to teams, but I don't know if free agency was even really that talked about, because what actually happened on a side note that actually overshadowed that was these trades that happened, which we'll get into a moment after we talk about these free agents that signed. I will start. Atlanta, Freddie Freeman, no longer an Atlanta Brave. Just didn't happen. Actually, Vic, I'll tell you this. I read this or saw this. It is possible that Freddie really was not, let's say, however, telling his agent what he wanted, kind of thing. I heard this rumor. This was coming from Chipper Jones, of all people, who is, of course, a front office, like, special assistant to the GM, and he's good friends with Freddie Freeman, and he was listening to both sides. And it was sounding like Freddie wanted to go back to the Braves, but it sounded like his agent wanted to basically maybe get money, not just for Freddie, but for himself, kind of thing. So that's one thing that I've read into, that I'm thinking now, that the fact that you have Chipper's words with that, and Chipper also giving advice to Freddie. And then I don't know if Freddie's not really adhering to that advice or whatnot, but dude, it's just the fact that Freddie's on the Dodgers is what is destroying. That
lineup is insane.
The lineup is, you can't beat that. Well, unless you have Jacob DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom could probably beat them, honestly.
Jacob DeGrom and Max Scherzer can't beat them.
And Max Scherzer, yeah, both of them could beat them. So I threw my Braves hat. I don't know where it went, but I'll throw in the Tampa Bay Rays hat because I live in the Tampa Bay area. So we'll do that.
Yeah, I think that the Freddie Freeman situation is unfortunate because now the Dodgers have a better team, and I don't like the Dodgers that much anymore. I used to love them because of Clayton Kershaw, but what they have done, and it's really not what they've done, because yes, I'm a Yankee fan. We're all known for buying players, and it's not what we've done. It's the way they handled the situation with the Astros that really bothered me. That's really what it was. It's not that the Dodgers are a bad team. I think they're a great team. I think that they have done a fantastic development with their players, such as Chris Taylor, such as Cody Bellinger, Will Smith, Gavin Lux. They're all great players.
There's a guy they get back this year too.
Yeah,
there's one guy, Dustin May.
Oh, exactly, Dustin May. They had Bruce Dark-Gratterall, who he came over in a trade, but they still developed him into what he is now. So I think that what they do is awesome. But I really don't think Freddie Freeman, with the LA lifestyle, I don't think it fits. You know, it seems like an odd fit. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by that. Well, another guy that really surprised me with where he went was Carlos Correa. I have to be honest. I did not see him going to the Minnesota Twins. Yes, I wanted him to go to the Yankees. Even with all what he said, sure, it would have made the Yankees a playoff contender, really. But Minnesota, like, why Minnesota? that's what I'm asking.
And
the Twins actually have a good team now.
Yeah, they do. And here's the other thing that I pointed out to you once that went down, was the fact that the Twins had one of the highest shortstop prospects in Royce Lewis, who I've actually watched play in Single A, who is a very good ball player, very smart. He's a very wise, disciplined hitter too, which is even crazy. And I've actually gotten a chance to meet him after the game down here and all that at the single A level. Just the nicest human being you could probably meet. He was just glad to be there. I mean, when some of these guys, some of these players will be like absolute terrible to fans, but Royce Lewis, he signed, I promise you there was lines of people. He signed everything that everybody had and was keeping conversation with them, which was kind of cool. But he's a guy that with Carlos Correa going to the Twins, what do the Twins do with him now? So
the thing is, that's where Carlos Correa's basically terms and conditions of the contract come in. Carlos Correa, I don't know if you guys know this, but Carlos Correa signed a 3-year, $105 million contract with the Twins, but he has an option, a player option every single year of the contract. First and second year, because first year he has an option to opt out. Second year he has an option to opt out, and then the final year after that he hits free agency again. And I think that's not that wise, but it still helps the Twins. I think it's a great move for the Twins because they remain competitive for this year, and then they can actually, we don't like you, Correa. We're not going to pay you again. So yes, you're going to take it. You might take it. Okay, we take it, but we're still moving you. You can still trade that contract. It's an easy way to trade a big contract. And I really think that's a great move by the Twins. Everybody's like, why don't you move to third base? Because they have, and we're going to talk about this straight later, they have Gio Urshela, who is a fantastic, phenomenal defensive third baseman. But we'll get into that later on with the trades. So, yeah.
And then, it's crazy. And then one of the shocking ones that I predicted, which I thought, I just threw it out there. I was saying, like, he would fit well there, but I just don't know if it would actually happen. And that was Nick Castellanos to the Philadelphia Phillies, along with Kyle Schwarber, who also signed. Bad move. Why? Give the hot take.
I think that Castellanos really doesn't help the Phillies as much as people think. Yes, he gives them a great hitting outfielder. They already had one. What they needed was bullpen, and they did not address that. So I really don't think it'll help them get over the Braves and the Mets, who I really think are above those teams now with all the moves being done. So that's why I think it was a bad move.
Yeah, that was one. And then Kyle Schwarber as well going to there, which I don't know why Schwarber went there, honestly. I guess money. But Schwarber is probably going to be, I think, DH, honestly, with them. And we'll see what happens with him there too, along with there.
I mean, he can switch. He can switch with Rhys Hoskins every now and then.
Yeah, that's true. And then the one that is probably the worst mistake of all time, and that was Chris Bryant to the Colorado Rockies. What Bryant is thinking of going to Colorado, a team who is not planning on rebuilding, a team that doesn't have that many top prospects, a team that doesn't really flash you with signings, goes to them of all places. Like, why the Rockies?
Well, I think he was thinking about his offensive abilities, and I think they play well in Colorado. But I don't think that was a good choice for him because Chris Bryant, except last season, but the past 3 seasons had struggled with a lot of injuries. And another guy that struggled with a lot of injuries playing for the Colorado Rockies, who has a similar build to Chris Bryant, is Troy Tulowitzki. And we all know that he had one season where he only played about 40 to 60 games in one season because of the injuries. And I really think that the altitude and what it causes to their bodies, I really don't think that Chris Bryant will be healthy for a prolonged amount of time with that. Of that contract. So I think it's a bad move for the Rockies, not because of Chris Bryant, a bad player. No, I think he's a great player. I think he adds a very good stability hitting wise and defensively. He can play first, he can play third, he can play in the outfield. But I just don't think that he will be healthy in a Rockies uniform. I could be proven wrong. I really hope he stays healthy, But I will say this, MLB, and I need you to listen to me. Nate, I'm going to do a rant right here really quick. You better not consider Chris Bryant as a top third baseman while he's in the Rockies uniform. You didn't do it with Nolan Arenado because he plays in the Rockies. He plays in Colorado. I don't care. Nolan Arenado is the greatest third baseman I've ever seen. And I never saw Mike Schmidt play, but he is an amazing third baseman. And the only reason he didn't get the credit is because he played in Colorado. So you guys better not consider Chris Bryant as the best third baseman because he plays in Colorado. If you guys do that, I will immediately unfollow baseball. I will say that. So yeah.
Good rant. And I changed hats
Thank
again.
You.
But we'll do one more free agent, really, and this is the wholesome one. Crying makes us want to cry because he also announced his retirement in the process. But Albert Pujols went back to the Cardinals for a 1-year deal to retire a Cardinal. We love him.
Sorry, I messed up the heart.
I can't really.
Just go the two middle fingers down, and then these ones. There you go. Better.
Hey,
there it is. There it is.
So, yeah. Albert Pujols to the Cardinals. I was like, dude, this is awesome. This completes the journey. Don't be surprised if Waino and Yachty call it quits after this too. They will.
Yachty, we all knew he was gonna. Yachty, he said that this was gonna be his last year. He said that at the end of last year. So will be his final season. But Albert Pujols will finish his career with the St. Louis Cardinals, the city that loves him, the city that he loves. And I don't know if you guys saw this clip, Nene. If you had that clip, we're going to add it to this video. But check out what Nolan Arenado said about Albert Pujols
being I have not seen.
Favorite player. You haven't seen it?
No.
Hey, guys, if you guys haven't seen it, here's the clip.
Can I say one more thing? Sure. Albert Pujols, I love you, man. You're one of the greatest to ever play this game, and I hope you get to go out the right way, and I'm just a huge fan, and I hope you hear this one day because you're my favorite player. Thank you.
All right, there you go. He said it right there. Albert Pujols. He loves Albert Pujols just like I do. Albert Pujols is my favorite player after Roberto Clemente. I gotta say that. Out of I wore number 5 because of Albert Pujols. I loved how humble he was. What an amazing hitter he was. What an amazing person he is. And I really, really wish I could meet him someday.
Okay. Now, we got to do another change because the thing that overshadowed these free agents was these humongous trades that particularly happened with two teams leading it and basically getting rid of players, the Cincinnati Reds and the Oakland Athletics. Probably it hurts the A's way more than it does the Reds, I believe, because the Reds were already kind of starting to do that last year a little bit, but now it hurts them. I mean, both of them, really. I mean, but especially the A's of what firepower they gave away. So we'll start right off quick.
Yeah,
take your pick.
That first trade, I think it even surprised Freddie Freeman. He said it. He said he was very shocked of hearing those news. But I think that Matt Olson going to the Braves was something no one was expecting. And I think that it's a great trade. Great trade for the Braves. I'll give it to you guys. What is it? This
is how you defend a championship, people.
Who's the GM? I forgot.
Alex Anthopoulos.
How did I forget Alex Anthopoulos, man? You have outbrained the entire MLB with that trade. Matt Olson, I don't know if I don't like Matt Olson because he strikes out a lot. But what you have with Matt Olson is power. And I mean outstanding power. He hit 38 or 39 homers with the Oakland A's playing at the O.co, which is probably one of the biggest fields in all of baseball. And he's still mashed. And you have a high quality defensive first baseman. I think he is. I'm going to say this. He is the best fielding first baseman in all of baseball right now. So I love that trade. How about you, Nate?
It'll be fun watching Dansby throw terrible rockets at him though sometimes. So he better be prepared because Dansby can do that.
Yeah.
So, and then I think the biggest one from the A's trade is probably sending Matt Chapman to the Jays, which I think solidifies them over the Rays now in the AL East because Matt Chapman and Bo Bichette on the left side of the infield. League. Oh,
Bo Bichette. Not just that. Don't overshadow that whole infield. You have Bo Bichette. You have
Kevin Biggio,
Matt Chapman. You have Kevin Biggio, and now you have Vladdy Jr. at first. That is a great infield. Great infield. Great pickup, Blue Jays. Great pickup. Now, Blue Jays, this is a team that I really like. I just hate that they're in the AL East. Because, of course.
I'll switch back to the hat. Yeah, that team. So, yeah, all right, I'm keeping with the Rays. Here we go.
You're good. I think that the Blue Jays are the best team in the AL East. That doesn't necessarily mean that they will win the AL East. We'll talk about that in another episode. But I really think that the Blue Jays have probably the best team in the whole American League. They have great pitching. They have Jose Berrios. They have Kevin Gausman. They have Hyun-Jin Ryu. That's a great three-headed
Sonny Gray.
Right, no, Sonny Gray's in
not Sonny Gray.
In Minnesota.
What's his name? John Gray.
Well, actually, John Gray. I made a mistake. I corrected that. John Gray is actually in Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
But they still have those three very good starters. Hyun-Jin Ryu was, I think, did he win this Cy Young, or did or was he runner up in Cy Young?
I think he was runner up.
Yeah, that will be down here, so you guys can check that out. But I think that the Blue Jays are a great team. So yeah, but not just, but that was one great trade. But let's talk about who is Al Avila. Isn't that the for the Mariners?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What he did by bringing in Robbie Ray was great. I think that's what they needed to make the playoffs last season. But on top of that, you trade for Jesse Winker. He hit his slash line will be down here. He hit, I think, 300 with 30-some home runs last season. And you also add Eugenio Suarez, who I know Eugenio Suarez had a terrible hitting season last year, but a couple years ago, he hit 40 homers. Okay? So don't forget what he did. I think that you have Jesse Winker, Eugenio Suarez, you have Mitch Haniger, and their center fielder who won the Rookie of the Year in 2020. And man, they have something to build around. Be careful, AL West. The Mariners are coming. They're coming strong. And they had a fantastic bullpen who no one heard about last season. But they have, I think it was a top 3, top 5. Again, that'll be down here. Top 3, top 5 bullpen in all of baseball last season. So I'm telling you, the Mariners, great move by their general manager to get Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez.
Yep. And then your Yankees doing something that I did not see coming. I don't know if you did or not, but that was sending Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela to the Twins for who was it? Was it the shortstop that they got?
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Yeah, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And
Josh Donaldson.
And Josh Donaldson.
All right. Yeah. So I have something to say about this trade. Thank you for getting rid of Gary Sanchez. Thank you. But why did you give up Gio? Gio Urshela did nothing wrong. Gio Urshela was amazing. I know he was probably the way to get Gary Sanchez out. I think find another team, but don't trade Gio Urshela. I think Gio Urshela was solidifying himself as a top 5 third baseman in all of baseball. Defensively, amazing hands, great instinct. Hitting wise, he had a great year as well last season. He was a breakout year. He fits the Yankees chemistry and morale and what the Yankees are about of being a very good team with very, I don't know if you guys know that, but they did have A-Rod for a long time, but the Yankees third baseman, Scott Brocious, and the other third basemen really weren't that well known, but they were still solid baseball players. And I think that Yo Urshela covered every single thing that the Yankees needed, but they traded it away. Now, that said, if Josh Donaldson can play the way he's been playing in spring training and he can stay healthy, I think that I think that would make it a great trade. Right now, I give it a C- on that trade.
Mm-hmm.
A C-, an A for the Twins, a C- for the Yankees. But if Josh Donaldson can be 85% of what he was in Toronto, then I think that the Yankees had a very good trade.
Yeah. And then the other trade that involved the Cincinnati Reds was Sonny Gray, who I was just trying to figure out where they sent him to because I forgot. Do you remember who they sent him to? Twins. There's the Twins. They got a good starting pitching. They got another good pitcher. Ugh. The Twins.
Not just a good pitcher. He is in a very good division because all fields, except for the White Sox, I forgot the name of the White Sox field.
U.S. Cellular Field, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
It was. They changed it. It's something
again?
weird now. Yeah, it's something weird. Except for that White Sox field, every single field, the Minnesota Twins, the Detroit Tigers, Cleveland, they're all and Kansas City, they're all pitcher-friendly ballparks. That's where he will pitch most of his games. And I think that he will have a great year. So I know this is not a fantasy baseball page, but if you don't have Sonny Gray, you should go get him. He will have a very, very good year this year.
Boy, we covered a lot.
I just noticed something.
What?
I just noticed something.
What's that?
All trades were American League.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Except
not the Reds.
Except
for the Reds. And the Reds. The Reds doing the trading.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean teams getting players? Yeah. I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
American League,
guys, with that being, this is going to be fun. But here's the thing. We'll throw this in real quick. We've got some prospects that have actually made opening day rosters. So Bobby Witt, Spencer Torkelson, and hopefully, and Elijah Green, hopefully, and Hunter Green. Yeah, Hunter Green. But Elijah Green, most likely, the way he's been turning up in spring training with the Tigers, should be
Riley Green.
Riley Green. What did I say? I get the green kids mixed up, man. I can't help it. There's too many of them to keep up with. Hey, but with that being said, guys, Nathan with Chatter Up, Victor with Chatter Up. Hey, we'll see you guys next time. Oh, and have fun on opening day, people. Happy opening day. Play ball.
Play ball.